Thank you. Times are changing, and no better time than getting up in the morning to think about that, right? And I have a philosophy that I personally believe that, like we just said, the human history. Wasn't it very interesting to see 5,000 years in today's comparison? So, a couple of hundreds of years back, few could create content, and then you had to go to the destination to take that content, a la library, a la newspaper, and whatnot. So the privilege of creation and privilege of access was too few, very clearly. We just heard Sukumar saying that democratization happened. Of content creation next. So then came the internet from the print, which just changed that not few could create, anyone could create, and those who had voices but didn't get opportunity or platform could create. Those who had credible information but they were not part of the news wire or a print or a news creation organization, they could tell the news. So the internet happened. And then we changed it upside down. The destination which we used to go to became and came in our pocket, and we killed the destination. The death of destination happened in last 2 years. Actually, it started last 4 years back, and as a country and as a part of South Asian countries, we will see that in next 24 to 36 months, we will no more go to the places. The places will come to us. The information will follow us, not we will follow the information. And I think that is what the alpha users of our generations are already facing. The Twitter feed is an overfeed of whatever else is happening, whether you want it or not. So the next tool and toys that as entrepreneurs, as people who are creating services, we need to do will be that what is more relevant and what is more contextual to give that consumer or your target audience that information. What changed? It changed access to information, but why do we look at it as access to information? That's underestimating the capability of thing called a platform in the world. Imagine that if you were running a state, Singapore, I don't want to run India, I would say Singapore, Dubai, and then you had an access to the land and you were to give education, healthcare, entertainment, banking, every sort of information. And that could have been done because you have access to the land and you are controlling what could be given, and then the whole consumer base, whole audience, whole population of your state ends up getting the digital device in their pocket and the connectivity. So everything has to digitize. No, it's actually far more efficient to give these things and far more impeccable to give these things. You need not have the school reach. You don't need to create per 1,000 people how many teacher matrices anymore. You don't need to create the banking ecosystem which requires you to create those inefficient ATMs or the physical banks. You could just do it in the pocket, right? And then this platform is what is available to us today. It's moving. It's moving from what it was a couple of years back, that it could only make text or voice call. It's upgrading itself to the whole plethora of what the desktop today is used for, called internet. So here is to the mobile internet that is landing in the smartphone devices, and they will no more be identified smartphone costly devices. And the reason for it is a country that we are not naming today in this list called South Asian countries, but a country which is not part of this, China. Actually, all the South Asian innovation on the mobile phone was possible because the end terminal that consumers use were being produced in the country neighboring to us, and it was being made available to consumers at much lower price than what a branded business will provide it. A la gray market, the market where there is no brand. Incidentally, there is no brand is a misnomer. That's a brand. That's an overflow of capacity of creation of those devices that is being dumped into neighboring countries because nobody wants to bother about creation of that incremental brand for a little more margin. So if a device was being produced for $15, it was being sent to India for $20, $5 enough. While a company in India or a company in Finland was producing $15 device and had to sell it for 25, 50, or 55 because they had to create a brand around it. Just because brand, we treat them as a gray market product, but that is the core innovation actually that drives all other innovation that we today celebrating actually here. The smartphone innovation is pending for nearly the similar influx movement. Today's Android devices, the devices that are being manufactured in the same country, are being used by the same country. We don't have an overflow yet. We still have innovation pending that the mass market can be produced and they can be shipped to the neighboring countries, namely us again, at a cheaper price. It won't. You will not have a device maker of this country or other country unless the Chinese manufacturers bring back their own branded device again in the gray market. My personal belief is that next 12 to 18 months, we will start seeing that. Today's capacities are being consumed in the market, home market for them. And then after that market, we will see this, that the core device again will reach 3.5-inch of touch screen with an operating system which is available for programming and internet connectivity and every other ecosystem support of charging or not charging, bringing on to the consumers at large. Today, if you are creating a service and you are leveraging your native network features called call or text or USSD or whatnot, you need to make sure that tomorrow's you're ready for tomorrow's. This tomorrow is arriving a little faster than we imagine. Some of the companies, and especially in the Western companies, they did not assume that this will happen so fast. The consumerization of technology and consumers' demand will grow so fast. In fact, I want to share one interesting anecdote that in 2007, when Nokia was looking at, when the iPhone was being launched, that they thought that this is not a device that people will buy for two big reasons. Number one, it did not success the 5-feet drop test of Nokia. Nokia was always checking that. And second, that they did not believe was that somebody will buy a non-operator subsidized $600 or even operator subsidized $600 device for $100. Actually, they were saying that we have whole of the world operators who married to us, so what we sell is what goes to the consumer, and what we will not sell will not go to the consumer. Even if Apple, who will not partner with telcos, will not go to the world, so there will not be any revolution of opening of this device. In this world, whenever the innovation was held hostage by few who believe that corporate agendas are bigger than what humankind needs, they were never successful. It happened to this device. It happened to the smartphones. It moved out of those reins of telcos who were defining what will this device carry. Actually, it moved out of LGs and Samsungs and those other Motorola's or those people who were creating those devices which were marrying to what telcos wishes. It ended up being open platform. And I love Larry and Sergey's audacity that even in the time when there were so many operating systems, they said we'll make it free. And the free is not the ecosystem's must. It's all about that they continue to invest on that free piece. Symbian was free. It doesn't mean it was worthwhile the world. Because the consumer moved to a lot more demand and somebody was pumping that money and somebody is still pumping that money. That's what you call Android today. And that's exactly where I can assure you the third point that comes is no more the innovation will be done from the ivory towers, people who put a judgment on what should go to the consumer. These people are called telcos because everything that you want to launch through them is, unless their EBITDA mathematics corrects, you're not going to go to market. Here is to that open world when the devices are in your pocket and you have this platform that you can launch what you wish like. Opportunities is more and more, and it's immense. It's bigger than what internet used to be because it's in your pocket of your target audience. Hail, oh mobile internet. We will see a better world soon. Thank you.